The Queens of Spice podcast is created for adult audiences only. Our show contains cursing, vulgar content, dark humor, descriptions of sexual acts and desires, and is not suitable for listeners under the age of 18. Some episodes also contain themes which may be triggering for listeners. Please take care of yourself. Welcome to Queens of Spice episode 2. I'm Rachel, also known as Ragachu. Sometimes I'm a Pokemon master. I'm here with Ash and Jack.
Hi.
Hello.
We're talking about Feral Sins this week, which is book 1 of the Phoenix Pack series by Suzanne Wright. Suzanne, of course, born in England, loves Skittles. So I think
she loves Skittles.
Who did you think I said love Skittles?
I thought that it was a note like somebody in the characters loves Skittles. I was like, why is that important?
So I don't know if you knew this, but Suzanne Wright has a lovely website where she actually goes through all 13 books in the Phoenix Pack series and Mercury Pack series that she writes out. 13 books.
Yeah.
And she gives you the reading order, fortunately, because 13 books is a lot, and they kind of flip-flop between the series.
Discovered that the hard way.
So if you're gonna read all of these, just be aware. There's 13 of the books in the series. If you're a completionist like our friend Ash here, sometimes you want to read all of them and you want to read them in the right order.
Because you're a dumbass hoe. Like me.
I mean, I didn't say that. So Taryn,
Ooh. Should we warn them that there might be like swearing and
I'm going.
Disclaimer.
Okay, full disclosure, I'm gonna fucking curse. And after I'm done cursing, I'm going to talk about some naughty shit. And then after I'm done talking about some naughty shit, we're going to read some stuff. It's going to be bad. And
not
just
penis knots, just naughty.
Yeah, regular naughty, not naughty. So if you're my mom, stop listening. Bye.
I don't know what that means.
We all love you,
naughty thing.
but carry on. And we'll explain that shortly, I'm sure. Oh, God. Anyway, Mom, bye. Leave. I love you. Don't listen to this.
My mom hates romance novels, so she's definitely not going to listen to this. Yeah, and if she does, you taught me everything I know about sexual education. Thank you. Fantastic. Foreplay is very important. I understand that now in my life.
We drank sourpuss last week. We're gonna drink it again this week, and then we're gonna get through this real quick. Cheers,
Real quick,
gal pals.
Cheers, bitches.
And we're gonna so down the shots. We're drinking blue sourpuss. It's blue tropical flavor with a U. So thanks, Canadian.
It has like a weird, like lemony taste to it.
You know what? It has a strange powdery taste that literally reminds me of university. Like that reminds me of being in the dorms drinking sourpuss.
I mean, I don't know if it's because I was eating the grape Sour Patch Kids or...
So we're going to talk this week about Feral Sins. As I mentioned, book 1 in the Phoenix Pack series by Suzanne Wright.
Suzanne Wright.
That's the gal. She's it. If you're not right.
Suzanne left.
Not Suzanne left. Suzanne Wright with the W even. So we're going to talk about
like writing.
Taryn Warner. She's the daughter of an alpha of a pack. She's going to be married off to some asshole douchebag who I've cited as that asshole Roscoe in my notes.
Roscoe?
She's also latent, so she can't shift.
Yeah, so she's not.
What?
So this is a shifter romance. So she's like a human, but she's got like a wolf inside her. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Like Jacob from Twilight?
Oh God, is it? No, he's a werewolf. That's a whole different ballgame.
No, he shifts. No, he's not a werewolf. He shifts into a wolf. It's the same. It's the exact same.
Is it the? Oh, that's too bad.
Only
sorry. Full disclosure: I've never read or seen Twilight.
It's the same as Twilight. They shift into wolves. They shift out of wolves. They can like half shift, so it's only their claws. I don't think Jacob can do that though.
Wait, but isn't it like vampires and werewolves?
Yes, but they're the
Well,
no, yes and no. I don't know if they consider themselves werewolves. They're wolf shifters.
That's wild.
They turn into legit wolves.
You just blew my mind. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
I thought that was werewolves. My whole life I thought that was werewolves.
So for our next podcast, Rachel's going to be reading Twilight.
I will not read Twilight. I'm sorry. I unfortunately have read 50 Shades, and that's close enough. So we're talking, however, about Feral Sins.
Yes.
And so this gal, Taryn Warner, is the daughter of the alpha. She's going to be married off to some asshole for alliances because her daddy's pack needs alliances, apparently, which doesn't really, but whatever.
And he doesn't respect her because she's latent.
So Daddy Warner's not a big fan of Taryn because she's latent.
But she's a healer.
She is a healer.
Don't know what that means.
It means she can't shift. So these wolf shifters, they can shift from their human form to a wolf form, and they're sentiently, they're different. Like their wolf possesses this. Am I getting this right?
Yeah, Taryn Warner is a little bit different than your standard latent wolf, I would say.
She can half shift.
She can, and a lot of latents can. They describe them as like being able to shift to some degree. In this particular instance, she cites her wolf as being like very close to the surface and very much a part of her and very annoying all the time.
Because she gets horny.
I mean, that's a part of it. Oh man, she's horny. But she is horny, however, specifically for this guy named Trey Coleman. So Trey kidnaps her. Here we are again with kidnapping. He drugs and kidnaps her, though.
I don't think he does it specifically. It's one of the guys.
Yeah, fair. He told his pack to do it, and his pack did it.
Thanks, Bo.
No,
that's a throwback.
Trey.
No, this is Trey. So Trey Coleman is the alpha of the Phoenix Pack. He
started the pack.
Yeah, he started the pack. After he challenged his dad at the age of 14 because his dad said some shit and got booted out, and it's a whole thing. Anyway, he started his own pack, and his pack needs alliances. And his uncle, after his father passed away,
oh my God, is this Uncle Jake?
No, not yet, Darren.
Baby girl, this is not Uncle Jake. So Trey, his uncle took over his old pack and then wants to reabsorb Trey's pack into his own pack again, because like a lot of them are related, whatever. He's got his own agenda there.
He wants the land.
He wants the land. Pick a reason. There's 20 reasons.
Because they live in this super cool like cave style dwelling where it's like rock walls and like all this cool. It's really neat. And Taryn calls it bedrock.
And she calls Trey Coleman
Flintstone.
As one does, of course, because he lives in Bedrock. So he proposes a deal with Taryn after, drugging and kidnapping her. Proposes a deal to her that they'll become like fake mates. They're gonna fake it till they mate it, and
fake it till they mate it.
they're gonna become fake mates so that they can have an alliance with Daddy Warner, and shit looks copacetic.
Because Taryn's dad like collects alliances. He has tons of friends,
quote unquote friends.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
feel
he
like
has.
this is like a Big Brother episode.
There are some brothers in this.
Are there?
Yeah. Remember anyway, spoilers. I'm not gonna tell you about that right now. So
Who are the brothers?
What's his name?
Bo and Huck.
Did you say Puck?
Teddy.
Did you say Puck?
Huck.
Oh, Huck. Yeah.
That was
Okay, Peaches.
So Jack, I don't know if you remember it, but that's from last week's episode. You're describing the Mountain Man's brothers.
Yes.
Yeah. So in
You're
this
describing
one,
mountain men. These are wolf mountain men.
in this one, they live in Bedrock, which is not quite a mountain. It's the opposite. And his in this case, we're talking about Trey Coleman. His beta. Do you know about betas?
Nope.
So you know about alphas?
I know like beta testing, like with gaming.
Okay, it's like that, but the complete opposite.
Only not.
So it's Trey Coleman's the alpha of this group.
It's like
This
wolf
pack.
hierarchy.
Like
Yeah.
the second in command.
Yeah,
Like his
so-
right hand
Yeah.
wolf.
Like his right hand wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. So Dante is his beta in this instance, and he has these things called enforcers. So enforcers are like
Yeah, he does.
bitches that get shit done.
like
more or
Crab
less.
and Goyle. No, they don't get shit done.
They don't get shit done.
They just fuck shit up. And not in a fuck around and find out kind of way.
Yeah, they never find out. They only fuck around.
No one finds out. No one finds out.
So Trey's enforcers are Tao, Ryan, Dominic, Trick, and which is short for Patrick, and Marcus. They all have they come up in other books down the road in this 13 book series, which is
As in
intense.
they have their own books.
They do, because they find their own mates if you catch a meeting. So
Literally.
literally. So Trey, they enters into this pact with Taryn. They go through with the deal to make themselves look like true mates, even though behind the scenes Taryn had a true mate and Trey had a true mate, and both of their true mates passed away. And Jacqueline, you're just looking at me like, what's a true mate?
That's why it's supposed to work, because both of their true mates are supposed to be dead. Shifters like this, they only have one true mate. You can have another mate. You can do what's called imprinting, where you get really close to a person and you kind of form a mating bond, but the concept of true mates is that there is one person in the world that is specifically for you.
Which, like, okay, Jack, humor me. If there was one person on planet Earth that was made for you and you know that's who it was, like, you knew that was the case, is that appealing to you? How do you feel about that?
Like finding some person
like,
that's supposed to be.
So if like the world worked and if in like, you know, what people say are like soulmates, would that be like this is a definitive fact? You have a soulmate on planet Earth somewhere, anywhere, who knows, whatever they are. Is that appealing?
I think it's interesting.
So in a lot of these, like,
what makes them a soulmate exactly?
They're just in a lot of cases in these books, their true mates end up being their kind of antithesis. So like in one case, one is like a super tomboy, kind of like rough around the edges, very smart, and then their mate is super flirty and, you know, playboy-esque kind of thing. So they kind of complement each other. So it's less soulmates, more twin flame, I guess, to a point, because you're not one and the same. You complement each other, which makes you work as a whole.
Yeah, you're two pieces of one puzzle, basically.
Yeah.
You
like
come together.
Opposites attract.
Kind of. They do. It does kind of operate on that respect. They complement each other, but they also get along in the same context.
Yeah, so they're faking this though, which is what you need to keep in mind. They're faking this relationship so that it benefits both of them, because then she doesn't have to marry asshole Roscoe and he can get an alliance with her dad in order to fight this like quiet war bullshit that's happening with his uncle. So there's like this, you know, there's pack dynamics going on, and we're learning about like the shifter romance stuff that's going on. And this is the trope you would call a fake relationship. So basically they're both just in it for their own benefit. And they're just putting on a show for everyone else to convince them that, hey, like, they're true mates. Like, I don't know if you knew this, but they're true mates. They just met randomly at a bar and they're true mates.
Like the proposal.
Is that a movie?
With Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, they both benefit from the situation. They both get different things out of it.
They pretend to be engaged, but then they fall in love.
Well, only in this case, they pretend to be mated, and then... surprise!
Spoiler alert, they're true mates.
They actually mated.
It's a whole thing. Yeah. So it turns out that they're actually true mates.
Like second true mates, or like...
No. So like their original true mates who they thought they were true mates were not actually true mates. So they're true mates.
Well, and like, to be fair, in Trey's position, the true mate was a baby.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
That happened in Twilight.
That did happen in Twilight, but like...
Jacob imprints on Bella's baby.
Renesmee.
That's weird. What, Renesmee?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
They're
Okay,
two moms' names put together.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. So, they become true mates. They imprint on each other. The whole fake meeting thing turns out for them. Spoiler alert. They beat Uncle and keep their own pack. And
well, there's a whole thing though. Like, she gets abducted, kind of, and like the thing with the true mate bond is like there are a bunch of things that need to happen. Not a bunch of things that need to happen necessarily, but the true mating bond.
There's phases.
Yeah,
phases
it kind of snaps into place. Like, they'll start smelling like each other, and if there's any kind of personal damage or hang-ups, then it can impact the mating bond. So in Trey's case, they describe him as having no conscience. So I wasn't sure if he was supposed to be a sociopath in this respect, but like
Trey, he has a reputation of being a sociopath.
Yeah, they think he's crazy.
They think a lot of people go around being like, Trey's dangerous. Don't go near him. That's really bad for you.
And when he shifts into his wolf form, he goes feral, and Taryn's the only one who can bring him back.
She's the only one that can bring him back. I don't know if you knew this.
That's obviously true love.
Cute. Yeah.
Now, so like there's a lot. You learn a lot. You learn about people in this.
About people.
Yeah, and you know, so they end up becoming true mates. She becomes the alpha of the pack. Everyone accepts her pretty well. There's a few people that don't,
except for Greta.
Greta is Trey's grandmother.
Whoa,
she's a peach, is what she is, and they just go. Her and Taryn go at it all the time.
How come she's not in your list of characters?
I don't know, because I'm never gonna forget Greta. I'm sorry, I didn't
fights,
include her.
Full disclosure: Greta fights with all the females that come into the pack dynamic because she's very protective of her boys, and she thinks they're all hussies.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like the boys can do no wrong, but the women are just hussies. You know how it is. And so like there's some espionage going on in the background because there's like someone in the pack who is like a traitor basically for like the uncle's pack, and so like
sorry,
who's
uncle?
Trey's uncle. Yeah, so Trey the pack he came from, his father's pack. His father passed away, and the uncle took over the pack.
So Trey challenged his father when he was a teenager.
He's 14.
And when he was 14. And he defeated his father, which should theoretically make him pack leader, alpha of the pack.
Right.
But they decided to turn against him, and they kicked him out. So, because Trey's father is a dickhole. And when Trey's father died...
That's what we call urethra?
Yeah, he's a urethra. So when he dies, Trey's uncle takes over the pack, and he wants to absorb the Phoenix pack into his pack to get the land. So
sounds like the Lion King.
Jesus.
Except Mufasa's not a dick.
Mufasa.
Mufasa is not a urethra in this case.
Say it again.
Mufasa.
Urethra.
That's what we call a penis hole?
Well, you said dick hole and you said urethra, so I said urethra, now you said penis hole. I can't win.
Don't ladies have those too?
Yes.
Okay.
We do.
Pee holes. Is that what we're going to call them?
I don't know if you knew this, but all embryo creatures, humans, start off as
creatures.
They start off as women, or you know, like females. And so like it basically just all the innies that we have becomes outies. And then men are created.
Everybody has a urethra.
So everyone has a pee hole.
I don't know how that has to do with alphas and wolves, but you know, they have urethras too.
Yeah, they do. Definitely. There's no... Now, I know, Ash, you're a big fan of nodding.
Is that why men have nipples?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
100% no.
Is that why men have nipples?
Yeah. So what we're following in this shifter romance, which is a big trope, of course, if you follow that kind of stuff.
One of my favorite.
Ash loves shifter romance. It's her favorite.
I would totally fuck a werewolf.
We already know that you would fuck a werewolf. One thing I want to talk about in this one, which we kind of glossed over in the previous episode, was the alpha male bullshit, talking about the alpha versus the asshole. And... I would
we're not
say,
talking about body parts.
We're not talking about body parts. We're talking about people who are buttholes, who secrete poop. So I would say,
I
would say that in the previous episode where we were talking about Property of the Mountain Man, he would be called an asshole.
Bo?
Yeah, that guy. Fuck that guy. He's like the asshole alpha, like not really a great. Because when we're talking about alphas here, we're not talking about like we're talking about like the male alpha thing you hear on TikTok where they're like, oh my god, I'm such a fucking alpha male. No, we're talking about an actual wolf pack with a fucking alpha. It's a different ball game.
Well, it is, but it also they do tie into the alpha behavior too, in that they're very possessive and controlling in certain respects, but they're also super respectful of their females, and their females are, you know, precious to them.
And
My precious.
Close.
I was hoping you'd do that.
So in this instance, we're talking about like an alpha pair is what they end up becoming. So you have your alpha male, alpha female who run the pack and look after everyone and take care of everyone and make
they're
sure everyone's seen to.
dominant.
They're the dominant crew. They make themselves known. They just, you know, shit happens when they speak, that kind of stuff.
And Taryn's crazy. And Trey's crazy.
I like the name Taryn.
Isn't it cute?
It's a good name. I would say, statistically speaking, most of the books that we would read in this genre, the females have amazing names. Like,
okay, let's be real here.
Yeah, Bonnie. Loving her.
All right, calm down.
In Greta. Loving her.
No, but that's the thing. Love it on Greta.
Love it on Greta. Who doesn't love Greta? Who doesn't love a good Greta?
Well, Taryn, for one. No, but like, if you look at a lot of novels these days, like, you don't come across Brittany and Ashley is like a main character
Brittany's
role.
not a fae. I don't know if you know this, but she doesn't really fit in.
You don't see these like normal names. Like, how many characters have you in all the books that you've read in the last little while? How many characters have you seen named Jacqueline
I mean, but, okay, listen, but you have a cool name, so how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about
Yeah,
that?
you have a pretty rad name.
Well, I don't think I have a rad name.
Oh, you have a rad name.
In this, I get really excited because in this book, the head of the Ryland pack. What pack is Nick part of?
That's the Ryland pack.
Nick's last name is Axton, and I got really excited because I thought it was Ashton. And I was like, oh yeah, because it is the last name too. But he's Axton. But my name, I haven't read my name in a book. It's always like, you know, neat, kind of different names. Like I was like, oh, Tao. That's a fun name.
Tao's a good name.
Not Lion though. I kind of was
fair.
hoping Tao was gonna be like Asian of some form, like
right.
But he's not. I mean, they're all white, and that's fine. It's just a little less.
You're not a big fan of Dominic, who's very white?
Listen, I love Dominic. I fucking adore
great.
Dominic, and I think that his cheesy pickup lines are amazing, and that they drive all the males nuts. And you know what? In all honesty, it gets worse the further into the series you get, because all of the guys end up mated, and they all want to beat Dante. Actually,
you mean Dominic?
Dominic. Too many D's. I mean, is there ever such thing as too many D's? But
Jack, how many D's do you think is too many D's?
I plead the fifth.
We're not from that country. Okay, go ahead.
In the first book, I think, of the Mercury Pack series, one of the things that they talk about is how Dante and I can't remember who the Mercury Pack wolf is.
She talking about Dominic again?
No.
Dominic, yes, Dominic. Thank you. Dominic and one of the Mercury Pack wolves get in trouble because they have because
Wrong book.
Ooh, Uncle Jake.
Oh no, honey.
Oh, Uncle Jake.
Baby, no, baby. No.
No, oh my
baby.
God, I don't think it's Jesse. One of the other ones.
Uncle Jesse.
And now
That's a different genre.
Here's Full House. No, one of the other Mercury Pack guys. They get anyway. Him and Dominic get in trouble because they have a threesome with a female who is destined to be mated to an alpha of another pack. So they cause him shit.
Dominant.
Dominic.
Although, I'd watch.
I said dominant.
Oh, dominant. Well, Dominic might be dominant. I don't know.
He might be, baby.
Actually, they do state that
Daddy.
his big thing is that you don't realize how dominant Dominic is until he's like in your face dominant. So he's kind of like that subtle. But it was the same with Marcus. You don't realize how dominant Marcus is until like Marcus is in your face, kind of thing.
I mean, that's the kind of thing about enforcers in general, is that they're supposed to stand by and wait until it's their turn.
Yeah, but in this series, like especially with Marcus, they talk about how he could be an alpha of a pack if he wanted to. His big thing is that he's really subtle about his dominance.
Gotcha.
So it's almost like she included all of these massively dominant males, but they all just don't want to be dominant, so they let Trey do their thing because they trust Trey. And I mean, there's a whole thing there too, but and I mean, they all kind of love Taryn when she comes in. Tao in particular.
Oh my God, Tao.
Okay,
they there's too many times in this book where they kind of tease a threesome.
Listen,
And especially with Tao.
when they talk about how they share.
Oh my God.
And how like Trey's big thing is that he likes people to see that he's dominant. I was
when they watch.
fucking waiting for that scene where they're boning in the woods and then Tao is just there like
he's like observing,
casually jerking off. Like where was that scene?
Where was that scene? Where was it? Jack, I don't know where it was. Baby, I don't know where it is.
Jacqueline, do you know where that scene was?
I don't know.
Also, the teasing about Marcus and Trick and their relationship. I needed a little bit more of that.
Okay, there's literally like talking about how Taryn walked over and noticed these two like having a time in the pool, in the pond or whatever, and they just gloss right over it. They gloss right no. This is when they were like doing it.
They were doing it in the
pond? They were doing it in the fucking pond.
I need sources.
I'll get the page in a second.
You find me that page.
But they just gloss right over a little sword crossing, and I'm really disappointed with that.
We love some sword crossing.
Who doesn't like certified sword crossing?
I love sword crossing.
I'm all about it.
Well, everybody needs love.
Everybody.
That's my biggest
sometimes
thing
you want to watch.
Well, and that's the main biggest thing about why choose. It's like I'm all down for a woman being worshipped, but like I'm sorry, I love it when the guy gets like Wicked Beauty.
Did you say why choose?
Yeah.
Okay, so why choose is what we're I don't know if y'all, we'll talk about this later when we get to that kind of episode, but the reverse harem is, we're not usually using that tag so much anymore because it's been deemed a little on the racist side, so we're not going to talk about that. But why choose is kind of the new reverse harem. I personally have been talking about Dicks for Days is my new acronym, DID.
Multi-partner makes sense.
DFD.
I don't see why. Like,
yeah,
it's
like
less
the poly
fun.
stuff. It's literary tags.
Multi-partner.
Yeah. So the multi-partner, they're calling it Why Choose, which is the most popular one right now, it seems. So that's what we're going to use. And,
everybody gets laid.
Listen, everyone gets laid. That's all I need to know.
I
There's
just
a lot
like
of
it.
dick,
I just
typically.
like it when everybody gets laid with each other, and it's not just one person with a set with several holes that gets fucking fucked.
So
I would like all of the holes and all of the people to get fucked. Mutual fucking.
Speaking of all the holes and all the people, there's a hidden chapter. I'm not gonna call it a hidden chapter. There's a chapter that was edited out of this book.
Yeah, the original.
What?
The original book had
Spoilers.
a threesome chapter in it.
It was more than a threesome chapter.
Okay, a multi-partner chapter.
So it was all of the enforcers, including the beta.
One could argue that was a little problematic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love.
Listen, they edited it out for a reason.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
What reason?
I don't know why.
I don't think it was. And we
I'm sure it's out there, but
well, you can find it online, and
I
think
found it online.
yeah, I read it, and Ash sent it to me, of course, because that's how this works. And
because I'm a horny bitch. I'm not actually.
So,
Isn't she though?
aren't you though? So I read the chapter, and I think you were right in your first kind of assessment of it, where you're like, this doesn't really fit. Like, Trey's a very possessive guy, and he's like, you're mine, this is mine, you're mine forever. I'm not sharing it with anyone else. This pussy belongs to me.
Well, and like where he had to talk to Tao prior to that, it really didn't seem like it fit, even though when they got married or had their mating ceremony,
bonded or whatever,
mating ceremony,
mated, yeah.
Mating ceremony?
Yeah,
they have a mating
it's
ceremony.
It's like getting married, but different.
Yeah.
And then they fuck at the end.
Well, they're the only ones that do, though. In the other books, that not all the other people, like, they shift into their wolf form. See, and that's the thing too. Taryn is latent, but when she gets kidnapped,
spoilers.
Isn't that the point of this?
This is 100% spoilers. She totally turns into a wolf later.
Well, yeah, but this because Trey realizes that he like loves her, and like the bond clicks into place, so it feeds Taryn that kind of extra bit of oomph, and then her wolf breaks free because their baby, who she pregnant with.
Spoilers.
Oh my god, is it like Shrek and Fiona?
What?
Are you okay?
Where like she goes into her ogre self because he loves her that way?
No, their bond
Not
clicks
quite a
into
choice.
place, and it kind of connects them on a deeper level, so he can feed her like
It's like energy almost.
feed her his strength kind of thing.
Like
And
Star Wars?
what?
The
As
Force?
Like so.
No, I
don't think it's
wouldn't
like the
say
force.
so.
I don't think it's like the force at all.
It's not the force. It's
No.
not the force.
It's not a fork.
Or a fork. And then her wolf breaks through the barrier that's been keeping her trapped because their child is being not challenged.
Threatened
is
the word, yeah.
Threatened is the word I'm looking for. So she shifts, and everybody's like, holy shit, which is also leads into people thinking that she's crazy and powerful because that's never happened with a latent shifter before. The look on Jacqueline's face, she's like, I don't fucking understand a goddamn piece of this. So when they get married or they have their mating ceremony, they shift into wolves and then run off.
And then they fuck each other as wolves.
And
but
their wolves fuck
is
each other.
unable to shift.
She has shifted at this point. This is after she gets saved from.
So, like, imagine there's like a showdown, as it were. She was kidnapped.
Showdown,
as it were.
They're being attacked.
There's like
I'm imagining a saloon.
This is like the
saloon.
It's close except outdoors. And so in a mountain with at Bedrock. So as you can imagine, when like someone's down and out and they're like, you're not gonna win this battle, man. Fucking Trey's got it in the bag. He's got the
feral.
Reinforcements. He's fucking feral. He's gonna whip your ass. And then the uncle is like has to be underhanded, so he's got his guy on the inside, and the guy on the inside kidnaps.
Is that Ed? The hyena.
Yes.
It's basically the hyena.
Not-
So down girl.
That was Ed.
So
Ed just laughs.
no more shots for you. So they take they kidnap Taryn and bring her to the uncle. And the uncle's like, well, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. And surprise, she's pregnant. I'm going to kill the fucking kid, too.
Because
there's no way he can win otherwise.
People often don't survive the breaking of a mating bond.
Like, there's a time when he's like, the only time I could beat Trey is when Trey's, like, unhinged. And that happens, like, a few minutes after the mating bond is broken.
Well, and if Taryn dies, Trey will feel it through the mating bond.
Yeah, so it basically incapacitates him so that his uncle can beat him, because that's the only way his own pack would ever like recognize his alphaness is if he actually beat Trey. Otherwise,
the only way Trey's
going
pack would recognize the uncle's alphaness.
Yeah, so it's there's a lot of like politics and alpha dynamics going on here. Like it's a whole thing.
So when they're all wolves,
Yep.
is Taryn just like a human
Yeah.
hanging out with everyone?
They
Legit.
literally like go for runs as a pack together, but
And she
she's
runs
just a
with them.
human.
And can she communicate with them?
Well,
To a point.
when they turn into wolves, like there's a separation between consciousness.
Think of them as two different people.
Yeah, it's like living with two beings in your head. And the thing with the fun thing about the pack dynamics,
Inside everyone, there's two beings, and one's a wolf.
there's two. Yeah,
I don't think I have a wolf.
Yours
in
is
me.
yours is probably more like a koala,
Aw.
or like
I'm stoned all the time.
or like a capybara or something.
A capybara?
Yeah, that one.
She calling me fat?
No, I'm calling you pleasantly happy. Wait, what are the things?
Is
that
this
smile
because
all the
she's
time?
been to Australia?
Maybe, I don't
weird.
know. Within the pack too, there's dominant and submissive dynamics. So, dominants are obviously dominant, but there are submissives in the pack too, and the dominants tend to protect the submissives, which is also super fun because like Grace and Rhett and you didn't write any other names down. And
Greta.
Lydia. No, yeah, Greta, Lydia,
Bonnie.
and Connor? No, Ryan's last name is Connor. Bonnie.
It's a whole different book.
No, but what's the bitch's Hope? Hope's the one.
Oh, Hope and
Hope's
oh,
a cunt.
fuck. And the other one, what's her face? The
Wait.
one that's like, Trey, I want to fuck you. We
No.
fucked one time. Why do you gotta bring this up?
Hope's not the cunt. That
No,
one's
no.
the cunt. Hope ends up turning around to be decent.
Yeah, Hope ends up being like, hey, I recognize that you, like, it's like a clique kind of thing from high school where it's like, I'm just gonna follow what this bitch does, and then she's like, never mind, this bitch
Because she
crazy.
fucked Trey once.
Yeah, she fucked him like one time, and then she's like, Trey, what are you doing? Like, I'm mating with this other girl.
Trey.
We're gonna
Oh
like
my
be,
God, Trey.
we're gonna like be mates forever. And
Oh my
he's
God,
like,
Trey.
girl, step off. We did it one time, and it was because I was desperate.
I also love that Trey is described as having like a Highlander-esque look to him because I just picture him in a kilt and that makes me happy.
A wolf in a kilt.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Highland dancing wolves. Dancing with wolves.
Woof.
Dances with Highland wolves. Where's the appeal of this book? Like, what are we loving here?
Okay,
we like,
so
we
we
love
got-
the
okay.
wolves.
So we've
I
got
mean,
the shifter romance, which is like an entire trope in itself, which people are into. Because
Yes.
it has a lot of dynamics with it. It has the alpha male thing. It has a female thing. It has the like fated mates thing, which people are really into.
The family dynamics really
It
big,
has a
too.
huge family dynamic in this where they like protect Taryn. There's one instance where like she heals Trey after a fight with asshole Roscoe after he like murders him. Spoilers. Because Roscoe comes sniffing around and be like, you stole my fucking mate. And he's like, bitch, I didn't. She's my true mate, whatever.
Oh, because Roscoe bit her without her consent.
Trey was so mad about that.
Fenrir Greyback.
Yes.
Close, but not quite.
Also, I love the part where Trey is all like super into her and they're like, oh, well, you know, if we want to make this real, then we're going to have to fuck. And so they do, but then he starts to get like the feels.
Okay, so we
As
need to...
wolves or people?
No, it's
People, because Taryn can't turn into a wolf yet.
until later.
But does she have sex with a wolf?
No,
as a
there's no bestiality in
No,
this.
there's no bestiality.
I
So-
mean, no.
there's not.
But is
not
that,
in this one.
Is that what it would
bestiality?
Yeah.
Yeah, because technically, I mean, their wolf is like...
It's a wolf.
It's a wolf. Like that is the whole personality, and their human takes a back seat to all of that. So
right, and they're like different people. You said too.
Yeah. So when they're in their wolf, like when Taryn's in her human form, and one of the guys or any of them are in their wolf form, or in any of the cases, they'll talk about how the person will talk to the wolf knowing that the wolf won't understand, but the person within the wolf will understand.
So this book also has a smidge of what I like, one of my favorite tropes on planet Earth, which is enemies to lovers.
Yeah,
a smidge, because she goes into this relationship being like, you're a psychopath and we're not friends.
Who, Trey?
No, well, Trey's the psychopath, but she wakes up after getting drugged, which, you know, is neither here nor there.
Or it's everywhere.
Also, she was going to an internet cafe. This book was released in 2012, but I'm still
Wolf
like,
bitches love the internet.
I mean,
they
who
do
doesn't?
because they create a pack web.
They have a pack web. It's a whole thing.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so all the packs have their own like internet thing.
So they have their
group.
own special login.
It's like Facebook.
Yeah, it's like Facebook for packs, and they're
Or
all across.
Is it like Facebook, or is it more like MySpace?
What does their relationship status say? Is it complicated, or
it's probably
you're either mated or unmated?
are we soulies?
True mates.
But when she wakes up in the room,
oh my god! At the beginning of the book, when she wakes up in the room,
so yummy.
She rolls over and she's like, "Oh, I obviously like went home with some guy, ha ha ha." And then she's like, "It smells so good in here. Oh my god!"
Did he bake her cookies?
No, not yet. That comes later.
Yeah.
So does he. And
1 point for Bo.
Yeah, the hilarious. I think that's funny too. When she's like, "Oh my god, I'm preggers," but she's like, "I was very much on birth control," and it's like special birth control for shifters. They have a special birth control for shifters, Jack. I don't know if you knew this.
I didn't.
It's specifically for shifters. It's 99.9%. I would argue it's more effective than normal birth control, but somehow she got preggers because that's how it's gonna be.
Well, maybe she's
their
not
mating
very
bond.
good at taking it.
No, they cited in the book that she's taken every day consistently.
They're mated. See, the thing is too is that within the pack dynamic, the other pack members cannot get pregnant until the alpha pair has a child.
So what if they don't want children?
Then they don't have to have children.
I mean, no one can have children.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And then their pack dies.
Well, you can add pack members without like procreating.
You can come into the pack.
Yeah.
Like actually,
calm down. So getting back to wolves though,
back to the wolves.
So we talked about the tease threesome action. We talked about the hidden chapter with the like orgy basically. We talked about the hinting some certified sword crossing, which
I was so disappointed. Look,
maybe who's our author here? Suzanne something.
Suzanne Wright.
Oh yes, I got it.
Nailed it.
Bonnie.
Maybe she just like doesn't really know how to write that kind of material.
Oh, she does.
Oh no, there are lots of like in the third book.
Yeah,
Shia ends up Shia's mate is Nick, but then it's a whole thing. But Shia's best friend is I can't remember his name.
Caleb?
No.
Shia's no, it's Caleb.
Yeah, but when she leaves, she disappears.
Okay. This I don't know about.
And she works with a guy.
Okay.
And I can't remember his name.
Wait, they have jobs?
Yeah, they're normal people.
Yeah, Shia's a hairdresser.
What?
Yeah, they're normal people.
They just all lived in the woods.
No, like Taryn.
No.
Okay, so Taryn doesn't technically have a job, but she's a healer of the pack, so she had to be on call.
Healer of the pack. Vroom.
Oh my.
Sorry.
See, the pack dynamic.
Are you?
No, I loved that.
Yeah, fair.
in with the Phoenix pack, they all live within Bedrock. But in a lot of cases, packs live within like almost like a campsite of sorts where they live in their own cabins.
Although they kind of like Taryn's pack, kind of like her father's pack rather. They kind of, I think it's Onyx. Is it Onyx pack? Something like that. Anyway, they kind of like allude to her living in this like grand mansion kind of house.
Well, I mean, her dad. I think she lived with her dad.
Yeah.
So he probably lived in the grand house.
But they describe the house like early on, like when the arsehole fucking Roscoe comes to dinner. Like it's quite a production. So they kind of talk about it in a point where like they're at dinner and there's like a huge table and everyone's like kind of present. Like it seems very grand.
It's the same as in the Mercury pack. In the Mercury pack, they live like Shia and Nick live in like hunting lodge of sorts, but then all the other pack members have their own cabins on the property.
Okay.
So they can stay in the hunting lodge if they need people close by.
So it's like a commune.
Oh, it's very much like a commune.
So.
Yeah,
it's a pack dynamic.
Yeah, you get that. You get the kind of vibe of like there's a whole community of people living together.
Yeah,
like that's their pack. Yeah.
Because they have to. Because if the pack is under attack, or if there's an issue, like somebody's coming to get them, then they need to be able to get close together so that they can protect each other. Because they're a big family.
People.
Yes, but then I mean they only really like they shift to wolves when like there's a problem or like they're having a confrontation or something or like
or
sometimes
they want to
have
play.
a one-on-one fight. Yeah, or when they want to play or go for a run or whatever. Like there's a lot of they like to play a lot when, and especially they cite that kind of like later in the book where Taryn finally gets to shift and they go like, oh, they go play around as wolves or whatever.
Yeah, and then they fuck.
Yeah, which was one of my points actually was wolf fucking. Wolf sex. Wolf sex was my second last point.
What?
Yeah, it's down there.
It is down there.
It is 100% wolf sex.
How did I miss that?
How did you miss wolf sex?
I don't know.
I would never.
Probably wasn't werewolf sex.
What?
The lack of nodding. I was really hoping.
What
when
is
I read
nodding?
This.
Okay, please explain nodding to Jack.
Okay.
Are you saying nodding like nodding my head?
Knotting.
Knotting.
Like a knot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when wolves or dogs mate or they fornicate, the male penis.
She said penis.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in grade 7.
The penis expands at the base to like lock them in place to like hold the sperm in the body so that it makes it not like guarantees conception, but it's
like a breeding kink.
Yeah.
What?
Only it actually happens. So is that really a kink? Because that is literally what happens with animals.
I mean, are you into it?
I'm super into it,
That's
which is why I'm disappointed.
100%.
So I was hoping when we get into this shifter romance where they are wolves, that there would be some nodding, but they're human. Their human and wolf form are very different. So I understand why. I'm just stating that I'm a horny bitch and would really like some penile expansion and.
It's a downside for you. That's fine.
So
listen, it wasn't downside enough that I wouldn't read it and read it again.
Yeah, fair. Same. So on that point, we're gonna get Jacqueline to read.
No.
This is our favorite part of the podcast. We're gonna get Jack to read a little excerpt from Feral Sins.
Not the threesome though.
No, unfortunately, we're not gonna get her to read the hidden chapters because that's not fair.
Because.
It's also not canon. Just go ahead and read this.
Yeah, put your glasses on. You'll need that.
You're gonna start at the don't.
You just can I stop at the don't?
No, you can stop at the good girl, please.
Oh my goodness. Don't think you can go to sleep. I'm not done with this body yet. He lapped at his mark. You know what's coming next, don't you? The words rumbled out of Trey as anticipation rushed through him. I'm going to fuck this sweet ass. Hell no. I don't want to know what a stuffed turkey feels like. This is for real. Okay. Or what it would feel like if it was alive while it was being stuffed. Her wolf didn't quite agree. Tramp. Now, Taryn, you said I could do whatever I want to you tonight. And I want my cock in your ass. She could pretend she didn't want this all she liked, but he could feel that she was intrigued. And he knew that she liked it whenever he finger fucked her ass. Good God, you guys. You can stay away from my ass, she gasped in outrage as Trey flipped her over, pulled her ass in the air, and spanked both cheeks hard. Hey, be still. You'll slice me in half. I'm your mate, Taryn. Your body was made to take mine. Anywhere I want. I let you tie me up. Isn't that enough? Seriously, Trey. God. Draping himself over her, Trey spoke into her ear. This is what's going to happen, Taryn. I'm going to finger fuck your ass to get you ready for me. And you'll like it. Whether you want to or not, you'll like it. You won't be able to help it. Then I'm going to sink my cock into your ass, and you'll love it, baby. And you'll want more.
Stop.
And I'll give you more. I'll give it to you hard and fast, the way you'll want it. And you'll come screaming, I can promise you that. Using his and her cum combined, Trey lubricated her ass with one finger, thrusting it in and out of her in a rhythm he found kind of hypnotic. When he added another finger, she jolted. Shh, baby, I won't hurt you. You know I'd never hurt you. At those words, she relaxed a little. He continued readying her with 2 fingers, and soon she was groaning and writhing, trying to counter his thrusts. That's it. You like that? She only nodded, but he didn't call her on it this time. Hell, he was too fascinated with the sight of his fingers moving in and out of her ass to care. When he added a 3rd finger, oh my God! And she groaned in pleasure rather than pain. He knew she was ready. Thank God. Baby, I can't wait any longer. He slowly withdrew his fingers and then pressed his cock into her ass. Shh. Relax. Let me in. Releasing a long breath, she let the stiffness leave her body. He gave her back a soothing rub. Good girl.
Thank you, Jacqueline. That was lovely. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
One of the great things with the series is like dominant females choose when they give oral sex.
Yeah, they do.
And it's one of those things is like the guys can demand it, but it's a dominant trait that the females choose when they want. Like that's big.
Oh, I get to choose when I have your penis in my mouth.
Yeah, there's
but
a
you
lot
can put 3 fingers.
No. That's a whole thing too. And it in this series, it's one of those things where all having your mate in all holes, as Jack takes a shot after that, having your mate in all, like your mate is the only person that you would have in all holes, kind of thing. So it's like they talk about like has anybody
as opposed to who?
Well, just having anal sex for the sake of having anal sex. It's like
that sucks.
It's a thing. Yeah, they're like, hey, have you had somebody had your ass before? No, they're saving it for their mate.
I'm saving it for marriage.
Yeah,
wait.
Essentially,
These 2 have already had their mates before and they died. Does that
they thought they had mates, but they
Right.
weren't
So
actually their mates.
true mating is like a connection you feel with somebody. It's not necessarily like you don't go through the mating process and the imprinting process and all this stuff. It's just like in Trey's position, for example, Summer, who was his quote unquote true mate, obviously wasn't. Her mother handed the baby, because she was an infant, to Trey, and she had been screaming and crying and going on. And as soon as she was put into Trey's arms, she was quiet. And so her mother was like, oh my God.
Probably because he's fucking creepy.
He was 14.
Why would a baby quiet down because the guy's creepy? Was it like, oh shit, he's
I'm
gonna
scared,
eat me
yeah.
if we don't shut up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fair.
I mean, I'd probably be louder, but
Wolf. So
Horny baby?
she was like 10 months old or something. She was quite
personally,
young.
not as a baby.
6 months old.
Oh.
I'm not a baby. I'm a fucking adult.
Hey baby, how you doing?
I am not baby. Jacqueline is baby.
Jacqueline's baby for this purpose. So anyway, and then her mother, Summer's mother was like, oh my God, that's gotta be your true mate because she doesn't quiet down for anyone except for you, obviously. So
And then she dies.
and then she dies. Yeah.
As a baby?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's like 10 months old or something. It's quite young.
So what about Taryn's old mate?
Taryn had a group of friends. It was Taryn, Caleb, Shia,
and Joey.
Yeah. And
Joey.
Whose names was Joseph. It's
Joey.
Yeah.
So Joey died in the same car accident that took her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And Taryn's got a lot of survivor's guilt over that too.
Took
That was actually-
Taryn's mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taryn was supposed to go with, but
Yeah,
she
it
got
was supposed to
punished
be-
by her father.
Yeah, so her father is just a piece of shit. Fucking Daddy Warner's not a good guy.
I mean, all parents in this seem to be doucheholes.
Wait, so
her-
Joey was her mate?
They thought Joey was her mate.
Yeah, was her true mate.
Because of the way Taryn responded when Joey died. She was completely despondent.
Right. But like, her mother died at the same time.
And that was the
God
point.
forbid she has a fucking reaction to someone dying.
For like a couple months, she was just like despondent. And not really like, she was quite distant from it.
So basically what you're saying is the baby's ass was never violated, nor was Taryn.
Can't confirm.
Taryn's ass was definitely violated, as you just read.
Before what I read happened. Before that.
No, they were kids. They were made
So
when they were kids.
I'm told that this was the first time her ass was ever violated. And I will say the context of what you just read, for example, was in response to his birthday. So this was a birthday present to Trey where she's like, hey, you're going to come to the amusement park because Trey's kind of a tight ass. He doesn't like to have fun.
I'm sure
you're gonna
he has
come
a
to
tight ass
there's
too.
that too. So
not if Tao has anything to say about it.
No, it wouldn't be Tao. It would be Marcus
Tao.
or Trick.
Damn it. They try.
I'm sure. I mean,
Tao would watch. In fairness,
He'd probably participate.
he
would get to.
not in Trey's ass.
I mean,
Well, he would get to be with Taryn, so he would.
I mean, he mowed down on her pretty bad in that fucking extra chapter.
in the bonus chapter. Yeah, he was all over that.
My favorite part about that bonus chapter was Marcus and Trick, though. I mean, I really just like,
Swoon.
Yeah, that's a thing.
There's something with certified sword crossing that happens peripherally that I'm like, this is hot as fuck.
Yep.
I could put this in every book. Thanks.
But that's like teenage Ashton being like, MLM's a thing that I like, apparently.
Multi-level marketing.
Yes. Male love male.
That's hell yeah, Arbonne.
Sensey.
Ooh, Tupperware party.
Makes me so hot.
Who doesn't like some good Tupperware?
I like a deal on anything.
So it's male love male.
Okay.
Yeah. We call it certified sword crossing.
Sword crossing is also when just like it tells you when there's
certified.
Yeah, certified sword crossing.
Is that important that it's certified?
Opposed to not certified?
I mean, if it's not certified, then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But this isn't canon, so it didn't happen.
Oh, well, that's the illusion that they allude to early on. Illusion with an A. They
right
allude to
the pond, in the
yeah.
pond.
Well, in the pond earlier, they allude to them having some, and Taryn watching.
Uncertified sword crossing, if you will.
I mean, I would say they glaze over certified sword crossing.
I still need you to find that.
I will
100%
100% dig that up for you.
I don't think it's been certified. I don't see a stamp on
There
that.
was no certification there.
No.
I mean, they could
He'd
be.
like to certify it.
I mean, I would like to certify that too, but they cut it out.
Right. I mean, the way they describe these guys is like, please, ma'am.
They're all very
notary to certify that shit with a wax seal.
Do you think
I watched them do it.
Do you think Nick could do it? I mean, alphas could probably do that because alphas can do the.
That's the point. Yeah, they do the alphas do the mating ceremonies, so it's like,
you know who could really do it though?
Go on,
Jacob.
Greta.
No.
Yeah, she's like the grandmother. She has like elder power, surely.
It is interesting how her kind of opinion changes as soon as Taryn gets pregnant. She's like, that's
it doesn't
change.
No.
It does subtly. Like, she talks about how she's a little more open about how much she doesn't actually hate Taryn.
Greta's character is, I think, far more complicated than you're led to believe. Like later on, they introduce these children shifters. They're a viper and a cheetah, and
brilliant.
Yeah, they're lone shifters. They're in Ryan's book, and the viper shifter is a little 4-year-old girl, and Greta seems to like fight with her a lot. But later, I can't remember which book it's in. It might be Tao's book. She talks about how Greta mentions how she provides the little girl Savannah, I think her name is, with someone to hate or someone to like go up against. So Greta, I think, purposely creates a dynamic for her own reasons, sometimes good, sometimes bad. I'm not really sure.
She likes to stir the pot.
She definitely likes to do that.
She's definitely a pot stirrer.
But she also loves the children. Like when Kai is born, she's like, well, I mean, everybody loves Kai. Taryn and Trey's kids, Kai, River, or something.
Boy, girl,
boy. And then Nick.
Of course it is, because anyway, they talk about that.
What?
There's a scene at the end of Feral Sins where they talk about how like this is obviously a boy. Obviously you're having a boy, and she's like, it could be a girl. It's like, no, it's a boy.
I mean,
There's a
Trey
whole
is all
Because they're
Test
both alphas, and yeah.
I guess that's the thing. But like every single one of them in the pack
Right.
is just like, this is obviously a boy.
Do you think Greta is jealous of Taryn because
she's probably jealous of a lot of people taking her attention.
she maybe lost her butt virginity like a little bit younger in life, or
butt virginity? No,
Like,
I promise you, she's never done butt stuff.
She'd
Does she
have
not
to.
have a mate?
Her mate passed.
Well, she'd have to if she was mated.
Why? She doesn't have to do anything.
Well, this is true, I guess.
She's just such a prude.
yeah, but
You don't know though.
yeah, you don't know that. She ends up with a boyfriend later on.
What? Spoilers.
What's like the saying? Like something.
Freaking the freaking the sheets.
That's the only part I remember.
Oh no, something on the streets, freaking the sheets.
Boring in the pack, but horny as fuck in the sack.
Horny as fuck in the crack.
Well, I mean, they do get crack. It's funny because when they talk about like who's gonna be they talk about who's gonna be the favorite uncle when the
Uncle Jake.
Yep. Jack, we told you it's a different book.
And Ryan's like, no, it's definitely gonna be me. And it's funny because Ryan is like the one that grunts and doesn't talk a whole lot, and it 1,000% ends up being Ryan.
Of course. So on that note, we love Ryan. So
Ryan,
does anybody have any final words to say? We're gonna rate this out of
moons?
Towels.
how many? No, we're gonna rate it out of fingers in assholes.
Oh no, fingers in my asshole.
So
I'm not rating it into that.
how would you?
How many fingers would you take in your asshole?
How many fingers in an asshole would you rate this book? Ash, Jack, what do you think? I'm gonna rate it out of 4 potential fingers and assholes, because that's a lot.
Why were you rating the last one on 7 and this one on 4?
Because how many more fingers do on your ass?
You want 7 fingers in
You
your
want
ass?
7 fingers in your ass?
Was there gonna be?
I
love how Rachel's doing this with her hand.
That's so many fingers.
I mean, if you put them together.
No. We're rating it a
Like
4.
a butt plug.
4 many ass fingers. 4 ass fingers. Okay, so what we're gonna rate it out of fingers and butts. Okay, so how many fingers in butts out of 4 fingers in butts would you rate this book?
Like 4 to 4 would finger my butt again.
Like 4 to 4, I'd read this book and enjoy it.
I'd read it again.
Yep.
So you want 4 fingers in your butt?
I
You
want
want
no
4
fingers
fingers?
in my butt.
No. We're talking about metaphorical fingers. We're not talking about actual fingers.
I don't want any kind of fingers.
Okay, if you had to choose, like
Between reading this book or taking fingers in
between
my ass,
fair, if that's how you want to look at it.
I would rather read this book.
Okay, perfect.
But you know what? This could be the fucking Holy Bible, and I would still rather read the book than take the fingers in my ass.
I think I'd rather take the fingers, to be honest.
Really? You don't read the?
I feel like this book was 4-finger awkward to read in my butt.
Were you not okay with that? How did you feel about that?
Well, he just kept putting more fingers in her butt.
Yeah,
and I felt
That's how you prep it.
That's how you prep it. You have to prep it. So I'm gonna give it like 3 fingers in the butt. I think it was a good book. I enjoyed it.
Is that good or bad?
No, it's good.
Rachel likes fingers in the butt. So she's
Okay.
happy.
Listen, I've had a couple fingers in the butt. So I would
Me too. Didn't like it.
I would yeah, fair. So I would read it. I did read it. I read it twice, of course, as I do for these podcasts. And I would probably read the entire series. I think if I got around to the time to have it.
It's a time suck. I will tell you
Yeah.
that.
So like 13 books is a lot if you want
But
to go through.
there's only 8 in this one.
There is, but you kind of really do need to read.
You
all of
definitely
them.
need to read. There are characters that get introduced. Like when I was reading the 4th one, I think it was, they introduced a character, and I was like, where did this person come from? Oh wait, it was then they were introduced in the.
It's like when there's like a spin-off episode.
It's exactly like a
That's exactly
spin-off.
what it
It
is.
is exactly a spin-off.
Yeah.
And in
That's
all
so
honesty,
annoying.
I'm
Looking at you, private practice. Sorry.
The Phoenix Pack, like in the first book in the Mercury Pack series, there's a hit out on the Mercury Wolves, but there's also a hit out on the Phoenix Wolves. So the Phoenix Wolves are involved in the Mercury Pack series, just like the Mercury Wolves are involved in the Phoenix Pack series. So there's a lot of overlap. I made that mistake of continuing through. Thought I only had 2 books left. Turns out I have more than 2.
Oh, you gotta read the whole other series.
And you're reading 2 series at once, and that's just weird.
Yeah, so and that's my point too. Of like, if you're gonna commit to this entire series, go on the author's website or Google it and find out order. Yeah, find out the reading order.
SuzanneWright.com.
Skittlemania, yeah. Unless you're not an obsessive freak like me who needs to read the entire fucking thing.
You know what? Here's the thing. I read the first book. The first book was good. Like I said, 3 out of 4 fingers in butt, and and it was fine. And I don't need to particularly read the rest of it.
What do you think would give it a 4th finger for you, Rachel?
Oh man, I don't know.
If they had a really well flushed out threesome scene.
You know what? There's a lot of teasing in that story that kind of like bothered me.
You want Marcus and Trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't?
You want that to be canon. If that was canon?
No, I think they could just, there's a lot of stuff they left
canon,
out.
Though.
It is, yeah.
Because
you guys told me it's not canon.
No, sorry. The big like orgy scene isn't canon, but like.
In Marcus's book, Trick's relationship with Marcus becomes an issue for.
But Rachel doesn't know that yet because she only read the one book.
Yeah, for Marcus's mate or potential mate. So,
So are Marcus and Trick mates?
No. I fucking wish.
Okay, this is a story for another day. Do males become true mates with males?
I don't think. I know that Kent and Caleb?
Yep. No. Kent is the son.
No,
of the other guy.
Kent is the hairdresser. He owns the he's Shia's friend.
Oh, okay. Nah, but there's a Kent in this book too.
Is there?
Yeah, there is, because it's what's his face's son.
You're probably thinking of Beau's brother.
He doesn't. That's Granger.
That is Granger. You're right.
Caleb. There's 2 males in the.
Caleb is Shayla's and Taryn's best friend.
Yeah, so he joins the Mercury Pack and he ends up mated to another male.
What? Caleb does?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because they imprint. And then...
Well, that would make the butt stuff a little...
Make more sense?
More interesting.
I mean, that's more fingers than butts. I might have to read that.
Yeah, maybe there could be 8 fingers for that one.
Okay, calm down.
I mean, that would be...
4 in each
How much is the butt
potential?
Plug? At that point.
You're okay with 4, but not 4
8?
each?
Yeah, that's 4 and 4, so it's 4.
That's 4 fingers in one butt.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, but 4 fingers also in the other butt.
We're just talking one butt.
We're talking one butt here. We're not going crazy.
Well, only one.
Baby, we're just
one of them gets their butt fingered.
We're just talking about
what
one butt.
about the other one?
Everybody's butt gets fingered, okay?
Yeah, but you only put 4 in each butt.
Jesus Christ. In Tao's book,
yeah,
he is interested in a raven shifter. And
Kent wants 4 in his butt, and so does Stanley or whatever his name is.
Caleb and Kent. No, so Tao, the girl that Tao is interested in is a raven shifter. They go back to her flock.
Whoa, excuse me.
I know. Listen, I have questions too. We gotta wrap this up.
And
the shifters can be not wolves.
Yeah, any kind of jackal shifters. Jackals, hyenas.
Hyenas.
They're talking about a badger shifter who was like had PTSD and was like digging holes in the ground. Anyway,
like honey badger.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. So her uncles are mated, so she's got and that's the thing too. Is
why are there so many uncles in these stories?
Because everybody loves Uncle Jake.
No, they don't,
except for Rachel.
Uncle Jake, no. Uncle Jake, stop.
So it doesn't talk about them being true mates though. So I think it's just they can imprint.
Okay.
Because.
Yeah, and that's the thing about like if you're not a true mate, you can still mate with somebody and imprint on them.
Yeah, hope,
but no fingers in the butt.
I mean, listen, what they do behind closed doors.
If you're mated, that's the thing. You save that for your mate. So
I thought you save it for your true mate.
No, you just save your mate.
It's for your mate.
person.
So you can have any number of mates, and so it's not
no. You can't
special?
have any number of mates because you need to imprint, from my understanding, in order to be a mate.
Yeah, and you gotta pick one.
Well, you don't, do you? Can you imprint on multiple but only be true mates with one?
You don't have a choice in the imprinting. Imprinting happens when you are close to an individual,
right?
And you're like,
I get that.
Yeah.
So how does it go from imprinting to being a true mate? Like, why
is
it
a soulmates thing?
Yeah, so true mate's a biological like ingrained thing, as opposed to like. So it'd be like picking your soulmate versus picking somebody you just really like.
It's like puppy love versus like real hardcore love, I guess.
Well, and the true mate thing is like it's a biological engraved bullshit. Like you can't get away from it.
That's not fair. Puppy love is not.
Isn't
a good
that what the
like
imprint is? You can't get away from that.
You can get away from it Because there's okay. So
you
they
can
talk
start
about
to draw back. If you start to feel an imprinting bond can start to connect you, you can
be like, fuck
back.
this.
So do you recall in this book, Trey's mother
Yes.
was true mates with somebody else, not Trey's father, if you recall.
Yes.
And she chose Trey's father, or vice versa. Trey's father chose her, and they imprinted, and they had a kid, whatever. And then down the road, part of the plot twist on this is that the true mate of Trey's mother had to live through Trey killing his mother after leaving the pack.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
So that was the imprinting versus the true mate thing, where he
which is why he abducted Taryn, because he wanted Taryn. Yeah. He wanted Trey to feel what he felt.
He wanted Trey to feel what he felt when Trey killed his mate, his true mate.
Yeah, because she went rogue.
Correct.
Yeah, which
she went off the tracks, and Trey, as the alpha, had to take her out.
Winky. It's not that you always have choice, but Hope ends up being mated to Ronnie is Marcus's potential
uncle, probably.
No, Ronnie's a female, and her brother Gabe, I think his name is. He and Hope make the choice to mate and hope for imprinting, because it's a whole thing where, are you sure you don't want to mate? You don't want to wait for your true mate, kind of thing, and they talk about how it's a 1 in a million chance for them to find their true mates, which seems really weird because
it's such a bizarre. I mean, they always say that, and I'm like, but then Taryn just rolled up, and then surprise, it's Trey's true mate.
Okay, I've read through 6 of the 8 books.
It doesn't sound like 1 in a million, does it?
No, but I'm but I guess me confuses, not confuses, interesting is your true mate doesn't necessarily need to be another wolf.
Doesn't necessarily need to be from this country.
No, well, that makes sense. I mean, you could have wolves in other countries, but you would think that if you have a soulmate, you would be of the same species,
perhaps. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm down. I love it.
Do they have to be a shifter?
I don't think they do.
Although they kind of tiptoe around the human thing, because
Shia's dad's a human.
There's another one. Was it Kirk or whatever? His mother's a human. He's a half shifter.
Kirk is the guy. Kent is the other one.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
So Kirk is yeah. Because Kirk's dad is so that makes sense.
Yeah.
My brain is
so because he's a half shifter. His mother is because he fell in love with a human, and didn't tell, or the human didn't know that he was a shifter, and then all of a sudden they had this kid, and then surprise, the kid's a shifter.
That's stealthing.
That's
shifter stealthing.
That's super immoral.
Which stealthing?
Stealthing is when you are fucking somebody and then you take the condom off before you come.
With a condom, and then you take it off mid-sex to fucking complete with.
Yeah, it's illegal in Canada. It's called sexual harassment.
It's called sexual assault.
Sexual assault.
It's harassment.
You know what I'm saying.
What?
Yeah, it's a thing.
So saying that you not disclosing that you're a shifter is the same?
We're comparing it, because we're saying that you should probably disclose that your child could potentially turn into a ball of fur. That's like
telling your potential partner that you have the clap or something.
Would you compare it to an STD? Oh, I turned into a wolf. By the way, I also
have herpes.
Well,
yeah, because herpes, that one doesn't go away or whatever.
Neither do shifters.
Shifters are forever.
Exactly, and so are herpes.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank you guys.
Herpes are forever.
I'd like to thank y'all for joining us today on Queens of Spice. We're going to leave it with herpes are forever. And thanks for coming out, guys. Appreciate you being here.
I think you can get medicine for the clap, though. So
I don't know. I've never needed to.
Me neither.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
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 Thanks for listening to the Queens of Spice podcast. You'll find us on Instagram and Twitter at Queens of Spice. Or if you want to send us an email, you can reach us at queensofspice@gmail.com.